JJ McCarthy. The talk of town for Michigan. Dude was clutch when it mattered most for Michigan. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about JJ McCarthy playing big-time football against Alabama in the Rose Bowl as Michigan is going to the national championship game. JJ McCarthy contributed 3 touchdown passes in an impressive win as Michigan beat Alabama by the score of 27-20. Michigan will now advance into the national championship game against Washington. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So, here it is. Is JJ McCarthy the most underrated quarterback in college football? After what I witnessed yesterday, absolutely. I believe JJ McCarthy is now the most underrated quarterback in college football. I used to say this title belonged to Quinn Ewers, and although Quinn Ewers is pretty good in his own right, he does get a lot of national media attention. However, JJ McCarthy does not get nearly the national media attention that he should be receiving. JJ McCarthy has done a tremendous job leading this Michigan football team. He's 26-1 as a starting quarterback. I know that he has a good running game on his team, and I know that he has a tremendous defense behind his back, but when JJ McCarthy needs to make plays for Michigan, he makes them. He was very clutch for Michigan when it mattered most yesterday, down 20-13 in the fourth quarter with the game on the line where he needs to score a touchdown to tie the game and send the game to overtime. He goes 75 yards down the field in 8 plays. You obviously look at the 4th and 2 conversion. Obviously, if they don't make it, it's basically ball game. And not only did JJ McCarthy convert the 4th down play, he completed that pass for 27 yards to Blake Corum. Blake Corum is known as a power back, but for Blake Corum to go ahead and catch that pass in the flat, that was a tremendous job by him for executing that play. Obviously, you gotta give JJ McCarthy credit for being clutch and being poised when it mattered most. He stood tall in that pocket. He was not scared of that Alabama pass rush. I thought JJ McCarthy played tremendous for Michigan whenever it mattered most. I don't think the stat line does JJ McCarthy justice, because you look at the stat line, you're thinking, why the heck am I raving about some guy that put up pedestrian numbers? But JJ McCarthy was efficient, and that's been the theme all year long for JJ McCarthy, playing efficient football whenever it matters most. You look at the stat line that JJ McCarthy had: 17 of 27, 221 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, including the game-tying touchdown pass. And you think about how Michigan didn't even play that good as a team yesterday against Alabama, but it didn't matter. You look at how Michigan's special teams was a complete liability. They muffed a punt that led to a touchdown. You also look at the fact that Michigan had a extra point snap botched and messed up, so they lose on an extra point. And then, of course, you also look at the fact that they missed a field goal because their kicker missed a field goal late in that 4th quarter. That could have came back to bit Michigan in the face. Obviously, you look at what Michigan did. They didn't even play close to the best game against Alabama, but they still found a way to win the game. And Blake Corum didn't even have a great game. 19 carries, 83 yards. He did score the game-winning touchdown, and his longest rush was the game-winning touchdown. But it's not like Blake Corum was a superstar running back by any means. And you look at how they were able to weather Alabama's defense, because we all know that Alabama's defense is one of the best in the nation. But the way how JJ McCarthy played it against Alabama, you couldn't tell, because JJ McCarthy was poised, he was calm, he didn't make mistakes, he didn't lose in the game. There's a saying in football that in order to win a game, sometimes you have to play not to lose the game, and that's exactly what JJ McCarthy did. And not only did JJ McCarthy not play to lose the game, JJ McCarthy made plays to win the game, and he did a great job getting Roman Wilson the football. 4 catches, 73 yards. You look at how Tyler Morris, he made a key play in that game. It was a 3rd down play. He catches the ball, he gets a good amount of yards after catch that ends up leading to a touchdown. Great play by Tyler Morris. And then you also look how Blake Corum caught a receiving touchdown, a sentence that I never thought that I would say, because Blake Corum has been scoring a lot of touchdowns, but he hasn't been scoring touchdowns in the receiving game. But he did it against Alabama. Obviously, you have to give him a lot of credit. And you look at how Michigan was able to weather the storm and overcome adversity. And the criticism that Michigan has had all year is that they haven't had to overcome adversity when they've played in the actual games. But yesterday, that's exactly what they did. They were down 7 in the 4th quarter, and for them to come back, that is a testament to the culture of Michigan football. I know a lot of people like to accuse them of being cheaters, but I believe the sign stealing has been vastly overrated. I don't think the sign stealing has played a tremendous role in the success of Michigan. I think what has played a successful role in Michigan returning to national dominance has been their quarterback play, and the fact that they went through a culture change 3 years ago. If you guys remember what happened in Michigan after the COVID pandemic season, Michigan was struggling in 2020. They were not a good football team whatsoever. A lot of people wanted Jim Harbaugh to get fired, but Michigan, they say to Jim Harbaugh, take a pay cut. Jim Harbaugh agreed agrees to take the pay cut. And they told him that he can only earn the money back via incentives. And Jim Harbaugh gambled on himself. And you know what he did? He's done nothing but win football games since then. You look at how 2021 was the first time that Michigan had won the Big Ten since 2004. You look at the fact how Michigan has now won the Big Ten 3 years in a row. And you look at the fact how Michigan has been able to build a dominant defense around JJ McCarthy. Remember, JJ McCarthy first joined Michigan in 2021. Yes, I know that he wasn't the starter, but everybody knew that when JJ McCarthy was recruited to Michigan, he would be the starting quarterback for them sooner rather than later. So he gets to basically watch from the bench the first year while Michigan ends up making the college football playoff for the first time ever in 2021. They get blown out to Georgia and they say, okay, JJ McCarthy, you're going to have to take in the reins at the quarterback position because you're not going to be able to just watch the team from the bench and we expect to win. So they say, you know what, JJ McCarthy, go ahead and enter the starting lineup. And that's exactly what he did, because ever since he entered the starting lineup, he's 26-1 as a starting quarterback. JJ McCarthy has never lost a Big Ten game in his lifetime. You look at the fact how he doesn't try to do too much. He doesn't try to get greedy with the plays. He just takes what the defense gives him and he plays to the right situation. He is always playing to the right situation of football, which is something that you can't say for every young quarterback. But JJ McCarthy understands his role in the offense. He understands that, hey, I don't have to put up 400 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns per game in order for my team to even stand a chance of winning. He understands that, hey, let's get the ball to Blake Corum, let's get the ball to Donovan Edwards, and let's play some good defense. And when they need me to throw the football, I'll be clutch for them and I'll be elusive because I got underrated mobility. JJ McCarthy is an underrated runner. He might not have Colin Kaepernick type of speed or Lamar Jackson type of speed, but he is definitely not slow. When JJ McCarthy runs, he has been an efficient runner. I like the way that he runs. I like the way that he throws. There's not really a lot of weaknesses in JJ McCarthy's game. I think JJ McCarthy has been tremendously underrated. I think he's got to be a future first-round prospect because JJ McCarthy understands how the game of football works. He understands the mechanisms and the management that the quarterback position requires from him. So obviously, you got to look at how JJ McCarthy, he brought Michigan back to national dominance. Without JJ McCarthy, Michigan is not in this position. What's the most important position in all of football? They say it's quarterback, right? Well, JJ McCarthy plays the quarterback position. And obviously, you look at what happened in the game yesterday against Alabama, and JJ McCarthy was the reason why Michigan won. I know a lot of people like to label JJ McCarthy as a game manager, but JJ McCarthy yesterday was a game changer. I know his stat line might not suggest it, but if you actually watched the game, you would have realized that JJ McCarthy elevated Michigan football big time. And obviously, with that win over Bama, now they get to go ahead and play Washington in the national championship game. I understand Washington's offense is extremely explosive, but I think Michigan's defense is going to hold them down because Michigan's defense is elite. Their pass rush can get to the quarterback like no other. Their secondary is pretty underrated as well. And obviously, Michigan can play time of possession. They can play keep away. And we all know that they can wear down Washington's defense via the run. If Michigan is smart, they're going to keep feeding the ball to Blake Corum and ask JJ McCarthy to make plays with his arm and legs whenever it is needed. But don't use him as the main focus of the offense. Rely on Blake Corum. Rely on Donovan Edwards. Remember that the game of football is a team game. Obviously, I think this game is not going to be that close between Washington and Michigan because of the fact that Michigan is by far the best team in the country. I believe that Michigan is going to win by 2 scores against Washington. I think it's going to be like a 31-17 type of ball game. I don't think Michigan is going to go ahead and score 65 points like Georgia because they do have the mindset of an NFL team. They're not here to kill opponents, but they're here to wear you down, and they have the mindset of an NFL team, and they're going to wear down Washington. And I think that JJ McCarthy is going to play a big role in that happening. I think that he has been extremely efficient. I think he needs to get more respect to his name. I think that he has done some solid things at the collegiate level. I think JJ McCarthy, although he's not going to be an elite quarterback at the NFL level, I think he is more than a solid quarterback at the NFL level. But either way, JJ McCarthy has one job to do, which is to win the national championship, and don't do anything stupid. You've gotten to the stage by not doing anything stupid. Please continue doing that. Please continue playing good football. He's been playing really good for Michigan. I've been really appreciative of how JJ McCarthy has been playing for Michigan. I'm actually a pretty big fan of him. You guys got to also remember that Michigan has not won a national championship since 1997, and that they've only won one national championship since 1948. So in other words, they've only won one national championship in 75 years. So the drought for Michigan has been pretty big. They don't necessarily win a lot for a blue blood program. Everybody thinks of Michigan as a blue blood program, but they haven't won a national championship since 1997. But I say that drought is going to end against Washington. I think JJ McCarthy has brought Michigan back to national dominance, and he has been able to do that because of his poise and ability to be clutch whenever it matters most, and that he understands his role within the offense. So that is why JJ McCarthy is the most underrated quarterback in college football, as he was clutch for Michigan when it mattered most. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the at Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dustin Tran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.